creating wealth, freedom, and security using real estate investing. This is Get Real Wealthy. I wanted to share with something a little different and special. This is a seminar that I put on recently at the Durham REI meeting. This is how to achieve your goals and what I do to achieve them. I have charts and graphs, so if you're listening to this, make sure to head to YouTube and check out the Get Real Wealthy YouTube channel. And if you'd like to download the first chapter of the book for free, go to actiontakerrealestateinvestingplanner.com. You're going to really enjoy this episode. Make sure that you stay to the very end to get all the insights and examples. And again, if you want to grab that chapter, go to actiontakerrealestateinvestingplanner.com. Have a great one. So I wanted to talk about achieving your goals and getting them done as fast as possible. Looking at a couple of different ways to help you. And when we're talking about goal setting, you really want to have a long-term vision and then a shorter-term vision and be able to achieve that weekly. Whether you take a 10-year view out or a 20-year view out, you want to have that big picture so that you're going to continue to work on that, and then you want to break it down into smaller goals. And we're going to talk about this because if you do this, you will be able to achieve your goals faster and more of your goals than you thought possible. I am going to focus on your real estate portfolio, but you can do the same thing to any goals that you have, whether it's career goals, whether it's health goals. You can use the same process. One of the things that you need to do, of course, is to have a vision, and you have to know why you want it. And you need to know what you're going to be doing when you get there. So what is it do you want? Do you want more time? Do you want more money? Do you want travel? What is it that you want? Okay, so you need to have that vision. And you need to have a future that is different from today, but it has to be significantly better than today when you're doing this type of planning, okay? So that way you want it badly. You have to need it, and you need that big why of doing it. And when that difference is big enough, then you're going to be able to achieve that goal. When I was a teacher in the school system, I enjoyed what I was doing, but I didn't have control of my day. I never had the ability to control what I did and when I did it. When I was a consultant at the board, I was becoming a school administrator. I was going to be a principal, but again, I didn't feel like I had the control that I wanted. And I moved from that into focusing on my real estate portfolio, as it had been doing quite well from 2008 to 2014. And a lot of this has to do with the goal setting that I was doing and what I would say goal achieving. All this material is available to you on the Education REI website. So all of it's there. You don't have to worry about anything. The information is there to help you, okay? So when you're planning this is what you need to do to when you're getting into January, right? I'm covering this now because I want you to be ready for the future, okay? Ready for January. You've got some time over the break. Take some time, a couple of hours, 3 or 4 hours to yourself to work on this. Now, what I suggest you do is you choose things that are part of your long-term vision across these categories. So it doesn't have to be just real estate goals. So I set different types of goals. They can be business goals. Okay? There'll be financial goals. It could be an asset base, or it could be an income base, or it could be I want to have a real estate business, or I could have an RV business, or I could have whatever that is, that long-term goal is. Whatever your health and fitness goals are, right? Do you want to run a marathon? Do you want to run a half marathon? like when I got to say, so I had this health and fitness goal of running a marathon, and I know a lot of you saw me at 330 pounds, and at the time when I set that goal, there was no way that I was going to achieve that goal. But you know what? It was on my long-term vision, and I slowly was able to get that done, and I was able to get it done in 3 years versus the 10-year goal that I had set. But at the time, to me, that was like a huge, like big vision, right? Relationship goals, that's just as important. How do you want to be with your spouse? What does that look like? Recreation and lifestyle. Do you want to go on vacation for 6 weeks a year? Do you know my friend Andrew Brennan? He's not here in the winter. You ever see him? He's gone. He's here for a week. He's going to be coming back for like January for something that we're working on, but he's away. That's one of his big long-term visions. He does not like the snow. He likes it for a week. But that's it, right? So what is it that you want? That's part of his vision. This is your big vision. What about, personal, professional development? What do you want? And contribution goals. Do you want to start a charity? Like, what is it? Like, think big, right? Think big. Next, we want to take that and we want to have some sort of near future goals. And we're going to talk about real estate in particular. But, what type of real estate investor do you want to be? All of these are okay. You don't have to be just one of them. Okay? Maybe you want to use it to supplement your income. Maybe you love what you do. Okay? You're a doctor, you're a physiotherapist, you're a teacher, whatever it is that you do. Maybe you love that and you just want this as a supplementary income, but you have a special goal. Maybe real estate is a calling for you. You give up being a chiropractor to be a realtor. Why? It's a calling to you, right? You feel that you can help people. I'm just looking at Anita. If you want to hear her story, you got to ask her, right? Maybe you're an entrepreneur and you love solving problems. I enjoy the problem-solving component of real estate investing. I love, that transformation. Okay? That's something that I like. Maybe you want to be hands-off altogether. Maybe you want to be invested in REITs or second mortgages, or just be the partner and be able to take advantage of the results. Okay, or a mixture of all those. But you have to decide for yourself what that looks like. Okay? And then you have to be able to measure it. You cannot come up with these goals without having a way to measure it. How much, and I know it sounds, sometimes it can sound, like when I explain to my Laura about this, I want this many hours of family time. She's like, why do you have to put it in numbers like that? Right? But for me, it's quantifying it because I want to be able to do something, right? For you, you may have maybe it's a day, or maybe it's a vacation, maybe it's something different, okay? Maybe it's traveling to every continent. Whatever it is, you need to be able to measure it some way. Is it money in the bank? Is it monthly cash flow? You notice what I'm not putting in here? Number of properties. I don't have the number of properties in there. It's not the number of doors either, okay? It's not what I'm putting down, okay? And just remember, whatever you spend the most time in, you are going to feel more successful at, okay? That's the trick. Now, whether you use this goal guidance system or a different one, all you want to do is you want to be able to look at the goal, identify what the obstacles are, okay? What is the knowledge that you need? Who is going to help you to do it? And what resources that you need. Okay, this is all part of that Education REI course, okay? And then one thing that I always want you to remember is your mindset affects your behavior. And you should, how much change can you make because you change your mindset? Because you're able to do something that you didn't think you were able to do. In this year, we closed on 7 apartment buildings, 202 units. It was like a it was like the value of the buildings were $40 million, okay? Like, to me, that was a lot, right? It's like adding another zero to anything that I've ever done before. But now, I feel like that I should have been doing that like years ago, right? Because, you know what? It was my mindset. It was all in my head. That's all it was. So you never know what you're going to achieve, because once you change that mindset and what you focus on, I focused on getting those particular buildings done, and I was able to get it done. Okay, so whatever you focus on grows. The thing that I do specifically that's a little different is I do quarterly planning. Okay, you don't have to use this template. I use it. And I find it's very helpful. It's in that Action Taker Real Estate Investing Planner. But I do a quarterly goal. And when I'm looking at my quarterly goals, I'm basically looking at 3 goals that I'm focusing on in the quarter. You see, there should be a piece of paper or like a card on the table there. I want you to think about 3 big goals that you have in the next 90 days, not a year from now. Not 10 years from now, the next 90 days, okay? Write it down. Think about it. What are you going to be able to achieve in the next 90 days? Okay? Whatever that is. It could be I don't care. It doesn't have to be real estate. Are you going to sell him another RV? No, okay. No, okay. Sorry, I'm harping on that too much. Okay. So what is your goal? Someone who wants to share what their goal is, and we can work it a little bit. Who's going to share one of their 90? Okay, go ahead. Okay, so what you're telling me is the result. Okay, David, here you go. So you're focusing on on what in order to get the result the result is the purchase of a commercial multifamily unit, right? So your focus is going to be what? It's going to be okay, so the actions, so we'll skip back. So the actions needed to get the result is going to be, so what you're focusing on, the focus is going to be the purchase of the multifamily commercial building. The result is going to be what? What are you going to get from that? What's the result for you? Like an increase in net worth, cash flow? What specifically is going to be the result of that for you?
Increase in net worth, but also gaining the experience to
Okay, so the result is experience gained to be able to purchase more multifamily units. The actions that you need to do to be able to do that. 3 major actions. What are they? I can tell you they're on the bottom of the page there. First of all, you've got to be able to find it, right? So it would be like the first finding would be talk to 6 brokers or 1 broker a week that deals with multifamily property and go to lunch with them, right? That's very specific numbers, right? How many? When are you going to do it? Every week. Next, funding. So how much money do you need to be able to do this? Well, like how much money do you need to fund this? $1 million? $2 million? Okay, so if you have to do $1 million, do you have $1 million? If you don't have $1 million, what are you going to do? You're going to have that as one of your action items. Talk to potential joint venture partners to help me to buy this. Number 3 is financing, because you can't do it without financing, right? So what's the 3rd thing that you would put on there? Talk to commercial brokers. And commercial brokers are different, right? So they usually get paid no matter what. And they're a little bit more, there's a lot more expense to them. But you're going to need to build those relationships. Maybe you're going to talk to First National. Maybe you're going to talk to People's Trust. Maybe you're going to build relationships with conventional commercial lenders. But those are 3 items that are, so you've got your focus, you've got your result, and now you have 3 actions that are associated, right? Okay, so that's what you got to do in order to be able to achieve that goal, all right? And you do that for 3 items. That was 1. Okay, you got to do that for 3 items. Okay, so the other piece there is, when you're looking at building a quarterly plan, you want to focus on finding funding and financing. What we talked about, you would probably add there, but you would be a little bit more general. Maybe you're going to want to, on the financing side, build like a financing binder that you're able to give to your lenders in order to facilitate that, getting them on your side. Okay. The other thing that you should be doing is a quarterly challenge. What is a quarterly challenge? How many people have done a quarterly challenge before? Okay, so what is a quarterly challenge? Like, what did you do in the quarter that was a challenge?
You told me never come back to your session with you if I don't find a JV card.
Yeah, I love it. Here, that's awesome. All right. So what she said, Alice said, I said to her, "Don't come back to me until you have a joint venture partner." And then she did. She got it done. But that's for her. That's taking her out of her comfort zone, right? Totally, right? What is your comfort zone? It's like that feeling like a roller coaster, right? Like, oh, when you do it. Maybe it's standing in front of the room talking to people, okay? But that's that quarterly challenge. What is your quarterly challenge? Who else has a quarterly challenge that's taking them out of their comfort zone? Is that it? Nobody else is taking a... Jillian. Awesome. First marathon in May. That's great. That's awesome. And have you done it before? You've only done a half. So is that going to take you, how do you feel? I feel terrified. But you know what? She's going to do it. I know she's going to do it. Okay? But that's a challenge. That is a quarterly challenge. What happens when you keep doing that? Your growth goes from here to here, right? That's what you want to do if you want to achieve your goals. You got to challenge yourself, okay? You also have to delegate to other people. You cannot do it yourself. Real estate is not a singular person game. Okay? Real estate is a multiple person game. You need other people on your team to be able to help you. Okay? How are you going to delegate those tasks? Who's going to do that for you? What systems are you going to do? What personal development are you going to do? Are you going to go and take advantage of the 5-hour course on joint venture raising money that's on the site that you can take and you don't even have to pay anything for? Right? Or are you going to look at that course on finding properties? You know how many people ask me, how do you find the buildings and the properties that you find? I say, I wrote a 5-hour course. Go take the course. Like, oh yeah, maybe I should take. Yeah. Okay, so and it's all available to you, right? Just use it. So personal development, what are those things? Centers of influence. Who specifically is going to help you to get your goal? David, who is going to help you to get that goal of buying that property? Who specifically can help you to do that? Name a person. Your real estate agent, okay? So that person's name you put on that list. And you take them out to coffee, dinner. You're buying them. You're getting them to talk to you. You're developing that relationship, right? That's a center of influence. Somebody's going to help you to do that. Okay, and the last one is, what's your real estate strategy or focus? And then I like to identify what freedoms I've achieved. So time freedom is when I decide during the day that I'm going to go play golf or if I'm going to go do something else. Okay, that is time freedom to me. Location freedom means if I can be here or I can be in Costa Rica and still my business is running. Okay, that is location freedom. Financial freedom means that tomorrow I'm not worried if I'm going to have money in my bank account or not, right? Because I know that my business is going to continue to run. Thought freedom means no boss is telling me what to think. Nobody tells me what I need to think or how to do. It can be a problem. It can be a problem, but I have my own thought freedom. It's important, okay, to me. So you also want to make sure that, I mentioned this at the very beginning, take a look at this chart. If you only have number 1 and you lose your job, what happens? You go and you have to replace number 1, okay? But if you have so your student rentals are throwing off cash flow after expenses of $6,000 a month, and your salary is $5,000 a month, and you lose your job. Are you okay? Absolutely. Okay? Because you know that you have those other sources of income. The more you have, the easier it is for you to be able to succeed. You have business profits. You know, your RV business is doing well, right? You have interest income, maybe from your second mortgages. You have sale of assets like the precious metals, right, that we talked about, okay? The other thing is that everybody is in a different stage of their life. These are the different phases of real estate investing. If you are in the building phase, you are high leverage, probably lower cash flow. As you get further into your real estate investing career and you move into growth and perhaps defend, you're having lower leverage and higher cash flow, okay? So you need to decide where you are. Every week, whether you use mine or somebody else's, you should have a weekly plan. I still do this every Sunday night or sometimes Monday morning, depending on if we have like a hockey game on Sunday night. I'll do this on a Monday morning. I do this religiously. I set my plan up. I write it out on paper. I put down the priorities. I connect with my weekly plan. I do an activity every Monday morning that I don't want to do. Every Monday morning, I do it, and it sucks, but I do it anyways because I get it done, right? That's that eat that frog activity. That's what I start off with. And every week, I'm finding, funding, or financing properties, okay? And I'm also doing those other activities, delegating, dumping to something else that I'm not going to do anymore. I also celebrate life every week. And sometimes it can be something like going Christmas tree chopping with the family. Sometimes it can be going to an entrepreneur organization event. And then every week, I focus on one of those centers of influence that was in my quarterly plan. I have put their name there, and I go and visit them. That's the point of connecting it all together. And that's how I get things done. Okay? This is purposefully achieving goals. It's not making it like airy-fairy. It's about you're seeing what your vision is, you're taking it down to a quarterly plan, and then you're getting it done every week. That make sense? All right. How about you? Do you think you could do this? I think you can do this. I believe you can. I think you just got to go out and get it done. Make sure to check out getrealwealthy.com. Until next time, I'm Quentin D'Souza. Get out there and take action. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are provided for information purposes only and should not be construed as an offer to buy or sell any securities or to make or consider any investment or course of action. For more information, go to getrealwealthy.com.